All of these knives have something in common. They're from different brands, they're made of different materials, they have different blade shapes, but every single one of them was modified by me. Let's take a look. In my opinion, customization is one of the coolest things you can do in this community, in this hobby. Taking a knife and making it uniquely yours is awesome. There's a lot of different ways to do that. You know, you can get blade chops done, you can modify your blade, you can cut holes in it for flicking, you can have your scales milled nicely and stuff, and those are all really awesome. And not even to mention the aftermarket parts market. But one of the easiest and cheapest ways that you can modify a knife for yourself is to dye it. And I think everyone, if you're a knife guy, you should have at least a couple of bottles of RIT dye around, because it's a very fun, very easy thing to do. And I have a video all about RIT dyeing knives. I will link it somewhere. You can check that out. It's one of my very old videos. But I love modifying my knives. I love dyeing. It's easy, it's simple, and it can really, really make a knife special. So, I have a bunch of these knives here, and I'm just going to showcase them one at a time. Look, I love blue knives, and a lot of these knives are dyed blue. And it's really cool when you can buy a knife straight from the factory that's kind of in your style, such as this Cjrb Denim Beg Letter 2. That's really cool. But it's just a little more special when you dye it yourself. You know, it forms a bond between you and the knife. And that's really, really cool. Some of my favorite materials to dye are JG tin and micarta. Micarta is the easiest thing to dye. You only have to dip it into the dye bath for a few seconds and it dyes. And JG tin, I'm not a real big fan of it plain, but I'm addicted to getting JG tin and then dyeing it different colors. It's really, really fun. I love doing it. So, let's go ahead and talk about each of these knives individually. The first knife I want to start with is actually one that I didn't technically dye, but I did modify the scales. This is a knife that you guys see in every single one of my videos. This is my R2D2, my modified Rat Model 2 and D2 steel. This was one of the first knife mods I ever attempted. I did this when I was a sophomore in college during the pandemic, and I was just kind of messing around. I was bored, nothing really to do, and so this is actually just painted, but it's now a size comparison knife. It's kind of a channel mascot, and yeah, it's really, really fun. The next knife we want to talk about is these three I kind of dyed at the same time, and we'll start with this one here. This is the Bestech Lion. This is a really cool knife, discontinued by Bestech, but one of the best budget knives you could ever get. This used to be a tan. This one used to be tan G10. Look at that action. But now I dyed it kind of this denim blue. This is a color that I've dyed a lot of these knives, as you'll see, because it's a color I had around for a long time, but I really do love the way it turned out. I love the texturing on the G10. Really cool. I don't carry this knife so much anymore because it developed some lock rock from use, but I keep it around because I dyed it. And most knives that I dye, I don't get rid of. I've given several to friends and family. I even gave away one for my 500 subscriber giveaway on this channel, but you know, I don't really sell knives that I've dyed because, I don't know, dyeing it doesn't really add any value. It kind of takes away value in a lot of ways. Next, this is a knife I've talked about a lot. I love this knife. This is my Bestech Paladin. Again, that same color of blue. This also used to be tan G10. I really love the texture on Bestech's micarta, or G10. But yeah, love this knife. Check out the review. One of my most recommended budget knives ever. Next up, my Bestech Grampus. So this knife This is also a really cool knife. Also discontinued, unfortunately. Great action. But look at the texture on these scales. It's kind of like a jigged texture. I love the way it looks. And I was actually going to dye this like a brownish red to kind of look like rosewood, but I didn't have that type of dye at the time, and I was very impatient. This was actually the knife that I believe this is the knife that I used for my how to Rit dye video, so that's why it's blue. I still like it. It looks really cool. Also, you may notice I'm missing a screw on this knife. Don't know where the heck that went. Really cool knife. I've used that one quite a bit. Next up, this used to be a gray. This is the Ganzo Firebird F41. I forgot I had this knife until I was digging through my forgotten knives box. I guess if you have knives that you forget you have, you might have too many knives. But this is a really cool budget knife, very affordable, really good build quality, great action. And yeah, it used to be gray, and I liked the gray a lot. But I was bored one night, and I was dyeing some other knives, and I was getting really into it, and I was like, I want to dye something else. And so I just grabbed this guy, and he got the blue jean blue treatment. So there we go. Really cool knife. I should probably carry it more. I've kind of forgot about this. Is the only Ganzo I have, and yeah, I just sometimes forget that I have it. There is an airplane going over. See if we can see that real quick. See him up there? And it's about to rain, as always. All right. Enough screwing around, right, guys? Yeah, there we go. Okay, next up, this is the Cjrb Gobi, and this is, yeah, there's kind of a different color for you. This used to be Jade G10. I wish I had before and after pictures of all these, but I don't, and even if I did, I don't think I'd put them all in the video. But a really cool knife, great action, good ergos. I'm not usually into these Persian blades, but I had this knife. This is one of the first knives I ever unboxed on the channel. And yeah, I ended up dyeing it. Let's focus in here. Yeah, look at that. Cool, cool, cool. I like how that one turned out. I like how it, how that kind of, I don't even know what to call that blue, but how it mixed with that, how it goes with that orange. If you want a lighter color, like on this knife, that's kind of translucent, don't leave your knife in the dye bath for too long. This is my Blade HQ exclusive mini Cjrb feldspar in S35 VN steel. This also used to have Jade G10 scales, and I changed that. I love the way this blue goes with the black. This deep navy or royal blue with black blades and hardware, I'm a sucker for it. We'll see another knife here that has the same kind of color scheme, but you guys know how I feel about the feldspar, and even though I prefer the big one, I do still like the mini. Next, this is my Sin Cut episode. Really like this knife, this awesome Bowie blade, and for these scales, I hope you can see that all right. I did kind of a maroon here with black bolsters, and it turned out okay. I think it turned out okay. It really does look pretty cool in person. I'm not sure how it's coming across on camera, but it does look really good in person. And yeah, awesome, awesome knife. One of my favorite Sin Cuts. And we've got a couple more Sin Cuts to look at. Our next Sin Cut is a snap. You will notice that most of these are budget knives. It's always fun to, you know, mess around with a knife you don't have a whole lot of money in. So as we can see here on these scales, I did a gradient. I went from this like darker to lighter, kind of almost a purple back here, and then going to light. Really, really cool. Don't mind the rust on the knife. I've got a video I'm going to be talking about that with. But yeah, this was kind of the first time I tried this gradient dye. I've tried a couple more times. Actually, I tried it a couple times before this one, and they just didn't turn out super well. I tried it on a couple of really budget effing grows, because, you know, might as well. Next up here is my Cjrb Scepter. This is a knife that I'm never going to get rid of, because this is the very first knife I ever reviewed on the channel. Focus. And so it had this really nasty brown micarta, and I went ahead and dyed it blue, because blue is the best. And I've carried this knife some more, and as you can see, it's like, I don't know, that brown is trying to bleed back through. It's kind of gross. Pretty nasty micarta, in my opinion. But, you know, if you have nasty micarta, dye it. It will help. And that's what I did with this next knife. This is a Cjrb Riffle. Had the same type of awful micarta. And, yeah, I made it blue. Just solid blue. You know, nothing fancy with these ones. I was literally just trying to cover up the disgusterous brown micarta. One of my favorite Cjrbs. Like this knife a lot, but not as much as this next Cjrb. This is my Cjrb Statira, and in my opinion, this is the best Cjrb ever made. So this used to have tan G10 under the carbon fiber. Nope, I turned it blue. I think it goes really, really good with the gold. One of the most comfortable knives I have ever put in my hands. Amazing action. It's discontinued, of course, but this is my favorite Cjrb, hands down. Just a really, really gorgeous knife, and one that I'm a big fan of. And it has water on it for some reason. Oh yeah, because it rained a little bit before I started filming. And we'll set that guy there. Another Cjrb. This is the Hadros. I reviewed this not too long ago. So this used to have just kind of the green micarta scales. Let's focus here, camera. And then I'd turn them kind of this very light, kind of teal color. Not sure if that's showing up too good, but it's kind of a hard color to capture on camera. It is starting to, again, once you, like with micarta, once you carry it a lot and it starts, you know, getting sweated on your pocket and your hands, you know, it starts looking different. But probably my favorite Wharncliffe, nice little EDC Wharncliffe knife. Definitely kind of went on a wild ride with this one, but one of my favorite Cjrbs. Another Cjrb. I don't really like this knife, but I dyed it, so we're gonna keep it. You know what? Maybe we should turn this way and look at the knives like this. What do you guys think? Let's see if this will work. Yeah. So this knife got the nickname the Popsicle when I posted it on Instagram. I think it was 1 Minute Knife Reviews came up with that. And yes, it does look like a popsicle. This used to be JG10. I changed it, obviously. The knife itself is okay. You can check out my review. But since I dyed it and since it became kind of a meme for my channel, I'm gonna keep it. And yeah, I should probably showcase this knife more since, you know, it is a meme. Put that back. Next up, remember what I was saying about my dark blue and black that I love? Yep, here's another example of it. Maybe if it'll focus. This is my Gobi KU322. Love this knife. Stupid smooth. Fantastic ergos. And yeah, that black with the blacked out hardware and the blue scales just looks really, really good to me. Very, very nice. I feel like we should have done all the knives, showcase all the knives like this, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20. Next up, my Tucson Dreadnought, designed by Jelly Jerry. This knife had the nastiest, dirtiest, crappiest diarrhea micarta ever. And so I dyed it red. It's got this green G10 backspacer, kind of a Christmas knife is what I call it now, and it's so much better. The micarta still feels really gross, but, you know, and it doesn't look amazing, but it looks better, in my opinion. All right, getting down to the end here. Just 2 more to go. This is one that I reviewed recently. This is my Cjrb XL, and this is another one that I kind of tried to do the bolster look on. I did dark blue here and then black here, and it's a little hard to see. It's honestly a little hard to see, but I did it. Yeah, watch my review for this knife. I expected to like this knife a lot more than I did, which is why I went ahead and dyed it like 2 days after I got it. But long story short, I did not end up enjoying it as much as I thought. Still a cool knife, and you know, I've done a lot of tinkering with it. I dyed it, so it's kind of, you know, stuck in the collection now. So I will use it. And last but not least, my favorite knife ever, my Cold Steel 8015. So I have too many of these. First off, focus camera. There we go. These scales used to be green. I dyed them dark blue. And I didn't think that would work, dyeing the green dark blue. I really didn't. But it worked. So there you have it, guys. A bunch of my my dyed knives. I love dyeing knives. I'm going to dye more knives next time I have an opportunity. I am leaving in just a couple days. I'm getting back down to college. You know, staying on the grind, gotta get back down there to school. And so I'm trying to get as much, you know, content scheduled out as I can. By the time you guys see this, I will have already been back. But, you know, I just kind of wanted to say thank you to everyone for all the support. I had a lot of fun this summer, have a lot of fun doing these videos, and I hope you guys enjoy them. There are videos about most of these knives, except this. Actually, I think I do have a video about this knife. Not a review, but like just a video about it. So definitely, you know, check those out. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I've been Gideon. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Hey guys, real quick, I did want to say thank you again, and excuse the wind. I'm on top of a mountain right now. So heading back to school, and you know, that's a big deal for me. It's a big change for the channel too, getting me out of the woods and back in the city. And you know, I do want to just say thank you to everyone who's been with the channel this long. Everyone who's, you know, commented, watched, sent me stuff to review, you know, all the friendships I've made on YouTube, on Instagram, and I've really appreciated it. A lot of you know that I struggled quite a bit through the pandemic, and then in more recent, you know, through the worst part of the pandemic, and then in recent months, I've had some pretty significant ups and downs, and you know, it does mean a lot to me to have this channel going, to kind of keep my mind sane, to, you know, interact with people and stuff. I'm up here on this mountain right now, actually above my family's ranch, because my grandma wanted someone to run up to the top of the peak and take a picture of the ranch. We've had record rains this year, and everything is green and gorgeous. And I'll show it off for a second. You know, it's I love school. I do. I love what I'm studying, and I'm passionate about it. But I do always appreciate the summers. I get to come and work my summer job at a different ranch. You know, I get to live close to family. I get to, you know, come back to these mountains and hills and forests and rivers and valleys that I love, where I grew up. You know, in fact, right here, you see this cliff that goes down. Austin and I, you guys have seen Austin on the channel a couple times. used to run around here all the time. I killed my first coyote up here. I climbed that rock wall, almost died a few times. You know, it just, you know, memories. You know, this is obviously a place that means a lot to me. I love for the channel when I'm out in the woods on the ranch, I get to test a lot of tools, use them hard. I get to, you know, be outside a lot. And even though I love school, I really do hate being in the city. And, you know, my EDC changes quite a bit. And that's reflecting the channel. But I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with this. I just, you know, thank you everyone for sticking around. Thanks for the support. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Hoping to do some more geology and paleontology videos. I'll probably do more of those at school, you know, where all I'm doing is studying all the time. I have a few actually really cool things going on when I get back down to school. So stay posted for all of that stuff. It's going to be really cool, at least for me. I think you guys will enjoy some of it too, so stay tuned. And yeah. And today was my last day at work in the woods. It's a Friday. I'm actually heading back to school in just a couple of days. And put on my school clothes, my nerd clothes, you know. Ditching the work belt, ditching the fixed blade. Get my Star Wars shirt on, get my dinosaur cap on. Keeping the cowboy boots, of course, because I can't wear any other shoes. But, yeah, you know, change, you know, and life doesn't stop moving. It's always going. And, yeah, I'm just glad I've had this channel to run and stuff. But we're getting a little bit sappy here. This isn't what this channel is about, but I really do want to say thank you to all of you guys. And there's so many people I can't even name like specific names. And if I feel like if I do start naming names, I'd forget someone and I'd feel bad. But you know, thank you to all my friends, commenters. Heck, all my commenters are my friends. You guys, I love you guys. So, anyways, let's get off this mountain. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should try climbing down there. You know, I haven't done it since I was a teenager. Not sure if I would. I'd probably kill myself, let's be honest. And it's about to rain, so that's another reason to get the hell off this rock. Anyways, that is the end of the video, finally. You guys take care. Did you guys all come to say goodbye? No? I walked over here and you guys all came over here. What are you looking at? Ew, you peed on my foot. I'm not gonna miss you guys either. You farting gas bags? No, don't even follow me. No, you're not my friends.